And plus, Hunter was a great role model. Hunter just did things the right way. Major, he got in that lane and he said, okay, this is working for my brother. And then Spencer is so damn competitive that she's like, I'm not going to let these guys beat me. you know, if they're getting good grades, I'm going to get good grades. And she worked so hard. I mean, because her season, unlike football where you play once a week, she's playing 3 times a week. She would play, come home, do homework till 1 o'clock in the morning, get up, go to school. And, the big game when the girls beat Stanford, that last second shot that Rosie hit, Spencer was covering their player who was on fire. And so the girl comes down and she has her back to Spence and she turns and comes back this way. Spencer steals the ball. We get the ball, call timeout, and then we win the game later on. So as a dad, I'm so pumped up, I'm like, Spence, what a great play, blah, blah. She goes, yeah, that's her move. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I've been watching her on film. Because she's watching daddy watch film all the time in football, watching her brothers watch film. She started watching. She would just look up highlights and watch games. Like I told you, she's just so daggone competitive. She's like, yo, that's her move. I knew she was going to come back.
And that's the crazy part about parenting, too. It's just that you do not know what your kids is going to pick up on by your moves.
Right.
And, I don't know if you taught her that, but if she's just going about that herself, she's watching.
Yeah.
She's watching a hell of a lot of stuff that you're doing on that part.
And that's just her. It's just great. It's like, wow, she's doing that. And that's who she is. That's how she is still to this day. She is at her job. She works for Northwestern Mutual. What can I do to be in a leadership role? But that's exactly what she said to her basketball coach as a freshman. She goes, what I got to do to start? Coach is like, you're a freshman, you're dressed in varsity, that's not enough? What I got to do to start? And she ended up starting.
Yeah,
she did.
And just like I told, me and Coach Roman was talking about this a little bit earlier, but she was the aggression for that team. And, I don't want – and, the emotional heart of that team. That's what I want to say. She was like the emotional heart of that team to – be that aggressive person on defense, but also bring that energy. If somebody's getting a bucket, she's there screaming right after and hyping everybody up. If you do well, she does well. She's not sitting here focused on just her or herself. She wants the team to win. And honestly, she wants it more for you than she wants it for herself. And I feel like that's because she comes from a good family. She knows that she's going back to a good situation and loving family. So she just is able to be able to pour out into other people, and that's what she did on the basketball court. I talked to her after games and stuff and just talked to her about a few things of what she should do, but it was always passion no matter what on the basketball court. She was so passionate.